Terror Troopers, it's me, Tara. Hi. I don't know if you made it through all of the new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but I did. Episode 1 through 10. Let's recap. Let's talk about it. I have thoughts. Love the drama. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Tell me your thoughts since I've already watched all the episodes. There's no spoilers here. And obviously subscribe if you haven't already. And when you do, you can ring the bell, ring the bell. Here's my Ring the Bell shirt. It's available on rejectnationshop.com. If you haven't caught me on the Real Rejects, I react to a bunch of movies and TV over there. So you can catch me over there. That's Grinch, my kitty cat. There's another one roaming around here. You might see her. Okay. Also, my website, dethrone.com. You can click on my store. I have other t-shirts and gear on there. Also Patreon. Thank you to my patrons who are helping a girl out. You can get access where you sync up with your own copy of some of the shows that I'm reacting to, like Love Island and Traders and stuff like that. So head over there if you want more stuff. Okay. Now, let's get into The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 2. Okay. So first off, it's like the Taylor and Dakota drama. Except Jenna, who Dakota has been having an affair with, shows up as a human receipt. That's number one. And is like, here's my phone. Sorry, it's awkward. Like, can you imagine giving your phone to the girlfriend of the guy that you've been juicing it with all your sexy texts and stuff like that? And I miss you. Can't wait to see you. Oh my God. And Taylor reads it. And for some reason, I love it that Taylor knows all of the dates. She's like, was this this night? And the girl will be like, yeah, he came over and we had sex or something. And she's like, great, because I saw him that night and he came over and I had sex with him. And it's like, oh my God, it just gets worse and worse for Dakota. Like he was just lying. And finally, Taylor finally, calls him out for it. But honestly, the worst part that upsets me so much is Taylor's freaking family. They're cuckoo, okay? Because here's what they say. They're telling her, try. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. So he lied to you. So he cheated on you. And they're like, give him another chance. You have a kid with him. He loves you, right? And of course, Dakota's like, you're the only one that I want. I made a mistake. I don't know why I lied, blah, blah, blah. He comes out with it all. At this family dinner at Taylor's house, the dad goes, so wait, you're telling me you went on 3 dates with him and then you slept with him? What does that say about you? To his daughter, to Taylor. Oh my God. That pissed me off so bad. Like, you guys don't even know. I was like, what? You're her dad and you're blaming this on her? Bro, the guy who's sitting right here, yeah, she has a child with him. He lied and cheated on her. What are you even talking about? She went on 3 dates with him and then she slept. You literally think that your daughter is a bad girl because she went on 3 dates, yo. That's a good amount of dates. And then she juiced it with him. And you were making her seem like the villain. Like, I was literally walking around my house just going, her parents are nuts. They're insane. They're just like, you need to work it out. Like, he deserves a second chance. And yeah, we realize that he hurt you, but like, he loves you and you have a kid with him. And I'm like, dude, if I was her parent, I'd be like, he's a jerk. You're not good when you're with him. He cheated and lied to you for a long period of time. Get rid of him and move on. And like, also her dad, I cannot believe he said that. I cannot imagine how much. What is that noise? Oh, good Lord. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. Hopefully you can't. It's my like oven thing. I'll explain later. It's going to go on for like 2 minutes. It's all going to be okay. Okay. Where was I before my weird air fryer oven thing interrupted me? Oh, I was going to say, I cannot imagine how much online hate that Taylor's dad is getting after that episode. Because that was like episode 2 when he said that. And I just could not believe how badly he just tore down his daughter with that sentence. I was like, forever after that, I was like, I hate Taylor's dad. Like, I don't know who he thinks he is, but the fact that he said that and he judged his daughter that way, can't stand him. Like, I'm like, get out. I want nothing to do with it. Okay. So obviously Taylor, Dakota drama, Jenna. Now let's move on to, obviously the Demi and Taylor juice is the biggest juice out of this entire episode. Like, Demi, who was a fan favorite season 1, is now like trying to become queen bee and kick Taylor out. It's insane. It's insane. I'm going to get to that, but I want to go through the Jen and Zach split earlier in this episode, right? And what is so wackadoo is that they're separated because Zach threw a freaking tantrum over her going to Chippendales, ruined the entire night. Okay. Then he comes back and he's like, I've changed. I've gone to therapy. I've realized like I was wrong in yelling at you about that. Okay. So they get over it. They throw a Chippendales as a joke because he said he's changed. Jen and Zach go to a party that Jessi and Demi and somebody else throw. And they're like, oh, it would be fun. Just now you guys come down and like we pretend like it's a Chippendales thing and you can sort of like dance with Jen. It'll be fun since he's gotten over it and he'll realize, oh, this is a funny joke. He does not. And then because he gets so upset about it, Jen lies. And he's like, did you know about this? And Jen's like, no. And there's receipts where she's at the hair salon being like, oh my God, that sounds so fun. Yeah, he'll love that. Oh, that's a good idea. Like, it's all in good fun. And the way that Zach is sitting there with just a pissed off face and he looks so uncomfortable because guys with their shirts off are dancing around near his wife, not even on top of her. Like, give me a break. They are your guy friends. They're not legitimately trying to like incite like Jen. They're not trying to get Jen off is what I'm trying to say here. Okay. It is a fun, loving joke. And he doesn't get it. And Jen takes one look at his face and like before they even get to dancing, Jen does the like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, the fact that you're married to this guy and you're so afraid of his reaction to what I think is a fun, loving joke and guys dancing around, girl, you need to run. You need to run so fast. I can't even tell you. Zach nobody changes that fast. Okay. He's obviously still uncomfortable with the situation, which means you can never go out and ever go to any party where a man is shirtless or it's another bachelorette. Like, it will be hell. There will be hell to pay if you are married to Zach and you're in that situation. Even though you're not doing anything, Jen's not doing anything. She's watching guys with their shirts off dance around. So what if they grab your hands and make them touch their butt? She's not ending up backstage juicing them. Neither are any of the other women in the audience. Like, it is so much a problem with Zach and nobody else's problem. And I don't know how he doesn't see that. He goes as far as to take his friends, to go golfing and goes, you do realize how inappropriate it was? Like, you touched my wife. And then he goes, oh God, what did he say? And he's like, you grinded up on my wife with like your tiny penis or something. Like, I was like, oh my God. I think that says more about Zach than it does about any of the other guys. Like, the guys were like, dude, this is a disconnect between you and your wife because Jen cleared it. Jen said, yeah, he's done better. He's apologized for it and he has he decides not to go to medical school, at least for like a year, so that Jen can continue with MomTok, because MomTok is the breadwinner, baby. MomTok is paying for your freaking life, Zach. Like, whatever. With Zach and Jen, and obviously, you know, she finds out she's pregnant and like she's crying, and like that part's really sad because like they are not in a good place, and she's preggers, and we know she's crying because she's not only like, I'm not ready for another child, but also I'm not ready for another child with Zach, this husband that won't even let me go out and hang out with my friends and have a good time at Chippendales. Like, what the hell? Like, what the heck, man? It's sad. And because she is so sad and depressed, she's not even like, she just had like a kid. Her other kid is like still fairly young, like 1 or something. She just falls into a deep, deep depression, and they stop filming her. Like, and that happens like episode 3 or 4, where they're like, to give Jen her privacy and like for her to like take care of this. She goes to therapy, and she sends the girls like that crying video where she's like, I just got out of therapy, and I just want to tell you guys, like, I'm really sorry for everything I've done. And she's like, and for my mental health and to take care of this baby, I need a break or whatever. And some of the girls are like, they don't believe her. They're just like, I don't know. Just seems kind of convenient. She's sending that video now. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, y'all, depression and like mental health stuff, you just should automatically not judge her and just go, sorry to hear that, Jen. We're here for you if you need us. And then bring up what you think is wrong with her later, like how she's been caught out in a bunch of lies, and like she has lied to her husband and made up stuff where she's like, I never knew about that Chippendales joke, and you're like, you knew all about it. Like, what are you talking about, Jen? Like, she has lied, I get it, but just like, don't bring it up now. Just be there to support her. Like, I didn't get that. Okay, now Mayci, she's writing the book, but I think the biggest thing in these like 10 episodes, when she goes to visit Eric's grave, her first husband, and like finally grieves over it. It's so sad. And like, obviously she's writing this book about her life, and Eric's death is going to be in there because it left obviously a huge effect on her. She has a kid by him. I'm sure every time she looks at him, she thinks about her dead husband. Like, and that's just sad. And she's already remarried. We get it. She's happy and also pregnant with her new husband. But she obviously keeps that a secret, along with, what's her freaking best friend's name? Mayci and Michaela, right? Am I blanking? Mayci and Michaela. I think it's Michaela. Hold on, you guys. Michaela. Yes, I got it. And the biggest thing, like with her, is that Mayci and Michaela, right? When the whole group goes to New Orleans, and obviously I'll get to Whitney, how like she sneaks her way back in, but like Michaela's like, no, I will never be your friend again. Like, screw you. I want nothing to do with you, but I'll be cordial. Taylor feels the same way about Whitney. Somehow they let Whitney and also Miranda, oh my God, Miranda coming back in the group, right? The one who was swinging with Taylor finally admits to being like, yeah, I did all that stuff. Meanwhile, she was lying about it with her first husband, Chase. Doucherama, man. She was lying about it, like to protect her and her husband and all this stuff. Anyway, it comes out that like, yes, she admits. Miranda finally admits, yes, I was swinging with Taylor, right? Like, finally admits the truth. And it's like, great. It's out there. It's open. Let's like move on, right? Whitney, however, she's such a weird one. And then I'll get back to what I was talking about Mayci. But Whitney is so freaking weird that when they have a group and a group together that's talking about MomTok, they do the truth box, right? And Mayci asks, do you regret not coming to it was like her baby deal for her brand. And Whitney last season just like didn't show up. And it was a big deal because Whitney was her very good friend. This is how Whitney responds. If I hadn't made the mistake, then I wouldn't have learned how to fix it now. And Mayci's like, okay, it's a yes or no answer. Do you regret not showing up for your very good friend? And she's like, I understand the question. I'm saying, like, if I hadn't made that mistake, then I wouldn't have known how to make it right. And I'm like, oh my God. And at that point, I was like, I thought you deserved a second chance, but I think I also hate you as much as Michaela and Taylor do. Because what in the actual F? That is not taking accountability. Are you a crazy person? What you should have said was, yes, I regret not showing up for you. It was a dick move. Like, and that's why I'm here and I'm trying to make it right. And I hope I don't make mistakes to like F over my friends again in that way. She doesn't do that. And then like the next morning she shows up in the kitchen and tries to talk to Mayci about it. And is like, so I feel like things are still off from like last night. And Macy's she's just sweet, right? She doesn't like want to cause drama. And they kind of have like a back and forth conversation, kind of get into a little bit of a fight. And I think Whitney throws whose name under the bus? Like, was it Taylor? I think it was Taylor's name or Michaela's name. And they were like, Whitney said something about, I don't understand how you can just like accept, Taylor's messed up and like Michaela's messed up and you can just like accepted them back into the group. So like, why not me kind of a thing. And of course the girls are listening on the other side of the door. And I'm just like, Whitney, you're an insane person. The only thing that you should have done was walk into the kitchen and say, I was wrong and I really just should have said, instead of me being like, I made the mistake and I didn't, and now I know how to make it right. Like, I can't stand it. She should have just walked in and been like, you know what? You were one of my best friends. You had a thing that was very important to you. I didn't show up because I'm a jerk face and I'm sorry. And like, will you forgive me? And let's move on. But Whitney doesn't know how to do that because she's cuckoo in the head. She's like missing a screw up there. I don't know. Like I can't with her at all. She upsets me. Yeah. So, okay. So then Jessi has a thyroid scare, right? But mainly, and it's great that it comes out benign and she opens up about it. But the main thing that happens is really between Jessi and Demi, who are best friends. Demi is trying to become Queen Bee, throw Taylor out. Taylor does a bad thing where she gets invited to CMAs. She posts about it. Apparently the girls, they do send her text messages, but they don't reply on her Instagram, and that really bugs her. And so she does a petty post and she's like, none of the girls, as you can see, none of the girls have posted on my Instagram. So are they jealous? What's the deal? Or can you even call them real friends? Anyway, all of the girls get really mad at Taylor because they're like, we texted her and like we sent her things, like, so what if we didn't comment on your Instagram? Like, they were doing stuff, they saw it, forgot about it. Like, the one thing is with Demi, I think Demi, it wouldn't put it past her to purposely not comment because she's jealous. And her jealousy comes out hardcore throughout all of these episodes. Not even just with Taylor, but also with Mayci. Mayci, like, is like, I'm writing a book, brings all the girls together. And like, Demi is like, you can see it in her pickups. She looks jealous and not genuinely happy. And I think the whole thing is like, that comes out throughout this is that Demi wants to have these opportunities. She wants to be the leader of the group. And she's obviously jealous anytime someone becomes somewhat more successful than her. Like, it's crazy to see. And it's very apparent in this new season. And what's crazy is that when Taylor and Demi are fighting in the back of this like Saints and Sinners party, Demi gets crazy and she throws her like Taylor's kid out there, and she's like, she just says a bunch of really bad stuff that like she didn't need to bring up. Okay. So Taylor goes, okay, you want to go? Because I know stuff that you wouldn't want. And Demi goes, fine. And Taylor looks straight at Jessi and is like, your best friend told me not to come to your salon because you're bad at coloring and don't do extensions right. She told me to go somewhere else. And Demi's like, what? I didn't say that. But like, she did say that, right? Because in skip 2, Jessi and Demi have a conversation. And Demi, she doesn't even apologize for it. She just is like, well, I didn't. She does not make Jessi feel any better about the situation. She clearly told Taylor to go somewhere else, and Jessi is her best friend. Why would you not want to build up your best friend and her company? Well, let's take a look at it, because in Demi's one-on-one, she tries to explain why she said, why should I should get more money for brand deals and I should get paid more because I was a fan favorite. She says this. She says, well, I was obviously a fan favorite in front of all of them. And in her one-on-one, she tries to explain that, like, well, Jessi has this huge hair empire to fall back on. And like, she's already making tons of money. And I'm like, yeah, because your best friend's a badass. So now you're like, oh, I deserve more money for being on the show because I'm a fan favorite. And like, Jessi doesn't need money. Jessi's running a business, doing all of your girls' hair for free for any event that you have, and also participating in the show. Meanwhile, also with a thyroid cancer scare. And you're literally like throwing her under the bus. Number one, telling Taylor not to go to her hair company. This whole thing that comes out about Jessi in this season makes that comes out about Demi, makes Demi the absolute new villain. Like, I thought I didn't like Whitney, and now I'm like, I don't like you, Demi. And she just deflects, whatever. And after she talks to Jessi about the hair thing, Jessi says in her one-on-one, she's like, I don't feel any better about what she said to me about telling people not to come to my salon. And she's like, so I think I'm going to take a step back from her. And I'm like, thank God somebody's getting smart. That girl should not be your best friend. Why? She has a complex. If any of her friends start doing better than her, she's not going to continue to build you up to make you even better. She's only just going to be like, oh, you don't need to support her. She's already big enough on her own. She's wackadoo. And it's just coming out now, dude. Like, it's coming out now. And like, okay, Layla, her relationship, it's back and forth. And then we see her like get back with him. And it's like, I need therapy and like all this stuff. Fine. Great. The main thing that Layla does in this, she brings Marciano back around. Yep. From the Vanderpump Villa. Because we all know that Demi and Jessi were there in Spain, right? They meet Marciano. And Demi and Marciano are flirting. And there's this whole thing like kind of back and forth, like what actually happened between Marciano and Demi. Because a lot of people are thinking like, did they go too far? Did they kiss? Yada, yada, yada. And of course, during the anonymous tip to Mayci's tip, it says, hi, I slept with Demi's husband while she was away in Spain. Brett, her husband. That it becomes a whole thing. She confronts Brett about it. They have a fight in a store because she's like, if it was me and this was just a rumor and nothing happened, I wouldn't be getting as upset as you. She says this to her husband. And her husband's like, Well, it makes me mad when there's anonymous tips when that did not happen. It makes him upset, which I'm like, yeah, I don't blame him. I don't think him being upset over the fact that someone's coming up and making a lie and saying that they slept with him, if it is indeed a lie, I would be as upset as him. Like, I didn't understand Demi going like, I'm just, maybe like her thinking is like, maybe he's guilty because he's upset over it. And I'm like, oh my God, Demi just keeps getting, she just keeps looking worse and worse throughout this season. It's just not good. So anyway, Marciano comes in. Wait, hold on. That's the end. I got to go back. A little bit. We got to talk about the Christmas party. Okay. So by this point, Christmas party has to happen. MomTok is totally split up because all those girls go to New Orleans. Taylor does not go because she's like, I'm not going to be in the same house as Demi after that whole entire blow up, after everything that Demi said, terrible things about Taylor's kids. And like, Taylor was just like, I'm not doing it. Don't blame her. Also, she would have also been in a house with Whitney, and Taylor is like, I don't care to be friends with Whitney, but I'll be cordial. So like, whatever. So the Christmas party happens, and Demi does not invite Taylor, but all the rest of the girls. Okay. And all the rest of the girls at this point are starting to go like, is Demi crazy? Like, are we on the right side of friendship here? Because Demi, with every chance she gets from like episode 4 all the way to 10 is like, if Taylor stays in MomTok, I'm out. She also calls Taylor a disgusting human being to her face. Are you insane? Like, she looks at all the girls and goes like, if Taylor stays, I walk, right? Which I just think is wackadoo. She says it multiple times. She has this Christmas party and freaking Taylor's mom comes and I'm like, oh snap, here she comes. She's trying to defend her daughter. And the best thing is that Taylor gives Demi a gift of Jessi's hair products, which is funny. And Demi gets all upset and she's like, if her mom could see the gift that her daughter gave me, then she would know like how her daughter really is. And I'm like, dude, that's a hilarious gift because you threw your best friend under the bus. And like, that's very funny. I thought it was funny. Now listen, Demi was really disrespectful to Taylor's mom during that Christmas party. She starts yelling at her and she's like, well, I think that she needs to focus on being a mom and being a better person. She's never checked in on me once as a friend. And like, Liann, she starts crying and it's just like, she's gone through hard times. And it is a little bit of deflecting where if I was Taylor's mom in that, I would just go, okay, wow, that's, have you talked to her about that? Have you told her that she has not checked in with you and she's been a bad friend? Like, why haven't you discussed that with her, right? If that's how it's been. She kind of deflects and is like, she's been through a hard times and she still welcomed you all into this MomTok group and she started this and now you're trying to kick her out, which Demi is, which she has no right to do because Taylor did bring in every single person, right? She started MomTok. Yeah, her life's wackadoo, right? She's on and off with Dakota and then finally towards the end of this, like she finally is like, it's not good. We need to walk away from each other. And it's like, took you long enough. Like it took her a while to step away from him. Okay. Taylor's not a perfect person, but Demi is going hardcore. Like every chance she gets, she's telling the girls that they need to not be, why are you talking to Taylor? Why are you friends with her? Like it's insane. And this Christmas party makes it even worse. And I felt bad for Liann because as she was leaving, she was still crying. And I was just like, dude, the way Demi was like yelling at her, it was sad and it was inappropriate. And Liann left like looking real sad. So skip to them after this like party. They all have the meet. And that's when Demi calls Taylor a disgusting human being to her face. And if she's in, I'm freaking out. Let's take a vote. And she walks. Taylor goes, hold on. Demi asked them to take a vote. Like, do you guys think that Taylor should still be a part of MomTok? Oh, no, actually, Taylor does it. She's like, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote right now. Who wants to kick me out? And nobody like raises their hands, like, at all. Because what? Like, what? They bring up a good point. Michaela goes, I don't like Whitney. Whitney's literally sitting right there. And she's like, I want nothing to do with her, but I'll be cordial with her. And I've never asked to like kick her out of MomTok. She's back in MomTok. I'm like, yeah, she has a great point. And Michaela goes, yeah, but it's different. Whitney's really, Demi goes, yeah, but it's different. Whitney's been working because she's gotten closer with Whitney because the villains, they always like to align up. She goes, she's been trying to make amends and she's been doing well. Whatever. Like Whitney has been trying. Let's see how it goes. And she goes, but Taylor, she's a disgusting human being. And I'm like, I just could not believe that Demi said that. She called her like, you just don't do that. Like Taylor is not a disgusting human being. She made a mistake with the Instagram thing. She called it petty. She was like, I probably shouldn't have done it. She didn't apologize for it though, which is probably what they were looking for. Like, just say you're sorry, Taylor. But the way Demi was like coming down on her and really trying to turn the girls against Taylor seemed insane to me. So they take a vote. None of the girls are like, we're going to kick Taylor out because why would we do that? And Demi stands up, and I think that Demi did not see this coming because Taylor goes, okay, great. You can go. The door's right there. And you could tell Demi does not want to leave because I think Demi really thought that all the girls would join her and kick Taylor out. So she stands up and she's like, I'm really going to have to think whether I still want to be part of MomTok or not. And she leaves. But her saying, I really have to think is like leaving a door wide freaking open, right? Instead of her just going, okay, she's in, I'm out, which is what she said. I'm like, yeah, I doubt you can stay true to your word on that. But let's see if they even want you back after all this drama. Demi, like you threw your best friend on their bus. You're calling Taylor a disgusting human being. There's one point where they have that Saints and Sinners party, and Chase, who's a doucherama, does walk by her, and he's a jerk. He says something like, where's your husband? And he touches her on the side, and Demi goes to call. She's like, Brett, Chase just put his hands on me. Like they go to like in the yard and they almost like have a fight where she's like, you put your hands on my wife. Apologize to her. I loved it because they did make Chase apologize. Chase was like, I just walked by you. I put my hand on you. I should not have done that. They make him apologize, which I appreciate because Chase is also cuckoo, right? An egotistical little prick that I'm like, yeah, apologize because you're an insane person. He lied. Like Taylor tries to get him to like admit what happened at the gym and he won't. And like Dakota joins Chase's side, which is so dumb. He just decides to believe what Chase is saying versus what his girlfriend Taylor is saying, which I'm like, y'all are insane. You're insane. And up to this point, Taylor has been the one who's been truthful. Even in the beginning of this episode where she's like, she literally calls out, who is it? What's her name? Not Michaela. Miranda. She's like, can you just tell the truth? And then Miranda finally goes, yes, that stuff happened. So like Taylor's been a truth teller throughout all of this, right? And I just couldn't believe that Dakota was taking Chase aside. Anyway, go back to the whole point why I was bringing this up is that Demi blew that out of proportion because it's not like he really put his hands on her. He like tapped her in a real doucherama way. And that seems to be what Demi is doing throughout this entire season is blowing things out of proportion, making them way bigger than they are. Taylor did that with the Instagram thing. She didn't need to do that. But it just is not as bad to have Demi call Taylor a disgusting human being and also bring up like her daughter and her kid during an argument. Like it was just, it's bad decorum. Like, girl, you're losing it. Now, the main thing, okay, is the end. The end is the best when Layla, she brings in Marciano and she's like, I finally want to get the truth. Now that Demi is out of MomTok, I want to see what happened with Marciano. And it comes out that Marciano was like, no, I didn't do anything with Demi. We didn't kiss. She's like, at all? Well then, and he's like, no, not with her. And she's like, what do you mean not with her? You mean with Jessi? And he's like, yep. So we find out that Jessi and Marciano having a full-blown affair. That is the bomb dropped at the end of this. That is like, what? And I love Jessi. I do. I'm like, poor Jessi. Like she's with her like thyroid cancer scare and like, and Demi just being a crappy friend towards her. And like, Jessi isn't really ever trying to start drama. She's really just supportive and there for her friends, you know? And I'm like, oh God, this is going to freaking suck for Jessi. The fact that Marciano comes on this freaking show and is like, he's holding on to this like it's a Real Housewives reunion moment where he's like, guess again, her friend, you know? And he's like, Jessi, oh, we did way more than kiss, way more than that. And I'm like, oh God, he's been dying to just come out with this for sure. Like, absolutely. And I just am like, oh God, okay. How is this going to like blow up Jessi's life? And I hate that it also was not incriminating towards Demi because of how Demi has been just so awful in this season that I was hoping he was going to be like, oh, we kissed and Demi lied about it or something. But that's not the case. It was him and Jessi were juicing full on. And I'm like, oh man, okay. So Jessi made a mistake. It seems like she's happy, you know, in her marriage. And like, obviously this is going to blow up. I don't know if her husband's going to forgive her or if she's like, they made it sound as though Marciano and Jessi are still sleeping together. Like it's still current. They're still messing around, which was crazy to hear. And right now it's like we're ending this with Whitney not being the villain anymore. It being Demi, but then now kind of being thrown on Jessi, even though Jessi's not a villain for having an affair, right? The tables are now going to turn on Jessi because she's been having an affair with Marciano and she hasn't told anyone, you know? Oh my God. Also, the other villain moment is when they go and they play pregnancy roulette at the New Orleans house and Demi makes it all about herself. They pull out one stick. It's negative, then one's positive. And then Demi has to go up and she's already crying. She's like, this is a triggering game. Oh God. And she pulls it out. And of course, the one she gets is positive and she starts sobbing. I get it. She's been trying to have kids. I understand how that can be like a trigger for her because she sees it. She sees it's positive. She wants that to be hers. She knows it's not. Can make her sad. She stands there and she's like, for real? Two of you guys are pregnant? And then she just starts sobbing and she walks away into her room sobbing. And I'm like, oh my God, couldn't you have just literally, you could have cried and then said, I'm sorry guys. Like, honestly, let's talk about this. I want to be happy for my friends who are pregnant. This is just triggering for me. I'm so sorry. Let's just give me a second and then let's come back out and let's figure this out. She doesn't do that. She just goes to her room and keeps sobbing. And then Michaela and Mayci are together, and Michaela's like, this is like depressing. Like, oh God. Like she goes and it's depressing because Demi is like just bawling her eyes out for like a long time and just sort of turns this whole game. And they weren't doing it to like trigger her because she can't have kids. Like they were just doing it for fun. And surprisingly, there was two people who didn't really want to come out and say they were pregnant, and it ended up being, two buddies. And to sort of lighten the mood, Macy's like, do you want to know who the second one is? It's me. And they're like, oh my God. They're very happy. They walk in the room with Demi, and Demi's like, it's you too? And they're like, yeah, we're pregnant. And Demi does say for a second, I'm sorry. Let me just I don't mean to, I'm happy for you guys, but I'm like, you could have just, I don't know. I think she could have handled it better and just the reason I feel like she was really trying to make it about her is because I think she's I do think it's triggering for her. I don't think they were fake tears. But there's some of it in my brain is going, she's now working up emotions about her not having kids, maybe to get more airtime or to make people feel sorry for her. Because she keeps saying I was a fan favorite and all this stuff. And I should get more brand deals and blah, blah, blah. That a little bit in my brain, the moves that she makes in her crying or sharing things is because she wants to become Queen Bee, And I just thought that was a weird moment where she just made it about her and her two friends, it really wanted to be happy and share that they were pregnant, couldn't you have just been okay, let me get it together. I love you guys. You guys are my some of my best friends. Just let's out with it. Who's pregnant? She didn't do that. But so now it's to me, number one villain. I'm like, dude, she has not handled things well this season. So I won't be surprised if you are now no longer the fan favorite because you've come so hard at Whitney and said some really bad things and also have not been a good person to your best friend. Jess, you have not been a good friend to her. You threw her company under the bus. What in the hell, and we'll see. We'll see if Jen shows back up, if she's still married to her crappy husband who doesn't, God, he just doesn't get it. He's just too controlling. I can't with that. I really hope that Marciano doesn't blow up Jessi's life, or if he does, that maybe they end up committing to each other and dating. I just feel bad for Jessi. She's going through a lot. And I also, sorry, it just got, oh, okay. No, it's fine. And I also think we'll see what happens with Whitney. Cause I still am I don't like you. I don't like that you couldn't just say, I'm sorry, I regret it. What's wrong with her? You know what I mean? What's wrong? What's wrong with these people? So my favorites currently, honestly, are Miranda, who who finally came out with the truth, but also was she's just trying to be nice and keep the peace a little bit. So is Jessi. And then, so is, who else? Oh, Layla. Layla's trying to keep the peace too, a little bit, but Taylor's still my favorite because I think she's funny, even though she's gone through a lot, but she has shared her entire life with it. She shared all of her deepest, darkest moments on this show. And that was her whole point when she brought it up at a dinner with Demi. And she's like, and you don't share your issues at all, in your marriage. You make it seem like you're perfect. Everything's perfect. And at that point later at dinner, cue the tears from Demi crying about how she can't get pregnant, which is a little reason why I'm they seemed like genuine tears. I know that she is sad about it, but I'm also did you work them up because of what Taylor told you? And now you you're bringing this up more and more because you're like, oh, I need to share my life in this way to become better on this show. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I need to know your thoughts, though. I'm sorry. This was like a long, rambling thing about episodes 1 through 10, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, are you with me that Demi is like the new villain? Like, did how she's moving in this bug you as much as it bugged me? And let me know what you think about Whitney too. And oh my God, what's going to happen with Jessi and Marciano? Like, I want to know. Oh my God. Okay. I love you guys. Leave me comments. Tell me what you think. This was a really fun new season. I'm sure you also finished it in a couple days like me. Yeah, let me know all the things. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. I love you guys to the moon and back. I will see you on the next one.